How practical is the direct application of the Qur'an as a state constitution? Does the Qur'an itself support the idea of being directly applied as a state constitution? Did the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, establish such a constitution in Madinah? Let us seek answers in the light of the Qur'an. We know that a state constitution is the supreme law of a country, something every citizen is legally bound to obey. If people were to establish a constitution directly from the Qur'an word for word, then all non-believers and atheists would have to be imprisoned for not performing prayers or fasting. Even Muslim citizens who were negligent in their worship could be punished by the state under the same law. On the other hand, if the Qur'an were declared the constitution, but its commands were not enforced upon those who disobeyed, then it would no longer function as a true constitution, because every man-made constitution is designed with the authority to punish those who violate it. However, Allah Almighty did not intend such coercion. He did not want people to be forced to recite the kalima, perform prayers, or observe fasting. Instead, He desired that humankind use their God-given reason and conscience to recognize the truth and willingly follow His guidance. No one should compel another to accept the religion of Allah. This is clearly stated in the Qur'an, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 247. There is no compulsion in religion. The right path has become distinct from our. So whoever disbelieves in Taghut, false gods or rebellious forces, and believes in Allah has grasped the firmest handhold that will never break. And Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. Surah Al-Baqarah, 247. The greatest instrument of coercion in this world is a state constitution. Therefore, inserting the divine laws of Allah verbatim into a constitution is not appropriate, because the Qur'an itself has made it clear that compulsion in religion is forbidden. Allah Almighty also commanded His noble messenger not to compel anyone to accept faith. Thus, even in the Prophet's motto, there was no coercion in religious matters. Allah says, "And had your Lord willed, all those who are on the earth would have believed altogether. Will you then compel mankind until they become believers?" Surah Yunus, Action 99. Therefore, the Qur'an itself was not the direct constitution of Madinah. The constitution of Madinah, known as the Madinah Charter, served as a safeguard of the sovereignty of the state and as a guarantee of the life, property, and religious freedom of all citizens residing in Madinah. The Qur'an is not a constitution for a state, rather, it is a guidance for those who govern. If the Qur'an is absent from a state structure or its legal system, no individual will go to hell because of that. But if the Qur'an is absent from an individual's heart, then surely he will be among the inhabitants of hell. Thus, the Qur'an implies that a believer may exist even in Paras Palace, while a disbeliever or idolater may exist even in a prophet's household. In conclusion, there is no compulsion in religion, that is the essence of the faith revealed by Allah and His Messenger. Any system or ideology that seeks to impose religion by force is a false and disbelieving system. Therefore, we must all desire the faith, din, that was given by Allah and His Messenger, a faith based on freedom, reason, and sincere submission.